Hey, man, happy Monday, everybody. My goodness gracious. It's like we're coming halfway through June already. Damon, good morning on your side of the world. How was your weekend? How you doing, brother? Is he on mute?
Yes, I am.
Hey, you're just testing us.
Yeah, I was guessing.
Wow.
Just
Seeing if we're paying attention, right?
Great
just seeing
weekend,
how things
though.
are going there.
Too much sun.
Well, Damon, happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, and especially your dog Odin. Man, is he going to dig this episode? So, Nicole Donnelly, happy Monday to you, my friend. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. I can't wait for this show. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be sharing the love with all of our furry friends after talking to Mike today. It's going to be great. So, yeah, excited to be here.
Well, this is super, super cool. So we have Mike Haragan. Michael, happy Monday. Hello. How are you, dude?
Doing great.
Well, thanks for joining us here. We're with Indigenous Pet Products. We're going to be digging into some we have a lot of bark about today, Nicole. I couldn't help myself. Sorry. So, Amy Siriego, how are you? Happy Monday to you.
Hello. Happy Monday.
So, man, are we just super excited for this episode. So, all right, guys, we're going to dig into Made in USA dental health dog bones. I know that's a mouthful, but your dog will absolutely love these dog bones. And not only that, Michael, fresh breath, and I can attest firsthand, not for myself. I did try them. They are pretty good, but my dog absolutely loves Indigenous health dental dog bones. And so, Michael, let's just dig right in. You're located in Indianapolis, and you are a great, fierce U.S. manufacturer, putting out all sorts of different products. You have multiple companies going on. But before I go there, yes, Damon, I am going to go there. So before we go there, Michael, being a great manufacturer that you are in the Hoosier state of Indiana, I have a question for you. When you were a little guy growing up and became like this just wonderful entrepreneur, this great manufacturer, little guy growing up, who was your hero? Who was your hero as a little guy growing up?
To me, who was my hero growing up? Wow. That was the curveball.
Yeah, it's always a stumper. It's always a
stumper. The curveball right off the bat, right?
Comes right out of the gate with a hard one.
Well, back in the day, it was probably Ronald Reagan, probably.
Ronald Reagan.
There you go.
Answer, man. The Gipper.
Around back then, and got the country going again.
Ronald Reagan. He was
that dates me a little bit, but
Hey, what's funny, and Amy, do Ronald Reagan, our president in the 80s, like that was before.
Yeah.
So let me Google him.
Could you Google him? You can
Google him.
She's thinking wait, what Teddy Roosevelt? Like, when was he?
He's not even on YouTube, probably.
I'm just kidding. So Michael, when I was in college, I had the honor. I got to see him speak. And, I was like 20 years old, and I'm like, man, I got to see Ronald Reagan. I'm like, I'm going to make it a point to see every president, and I don't think I've seen another one since in person. So anyway, that was great answer. Ronald Reagan, boy, he got things cooking in the 80s. So that was a wonderful.
Pulled that one out.
That was Damon. We haven't had that one, have we?
Nope, I have not.
That's new. Ronald Reagan. Are you kidding me? That was a total drop the mic moment. Nicole, was your dad a big Ronald Reagan guy?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. He loved Ronald Reagan. I remember when I was a kid. He was president when I was a very young child. Yep. And things were good. The 80s was a good decade.
The 80s were, it was a
little Whitney Houston, take one for the Gipper? Is that what he used to say?
He was in that movie, right? Wasn't he the Gipper, if I'm not mistaken? So, all right, well, that was a great answer. So, guys, we're here with Mike Haragan from Indigenous Pet Products. Drop us a note. Let us know you're there. Happy Monday to you. And boy, we might actually have some trivia for you today. So sit back, relax. It's going to be a good time. Michael, my friend, can you please share with the folks who and what is Indigenous Pet Products?
Indigenous Pet Products. Here is a sample bag.
There you go.
It is a dental health bone that helps clean the dog's teeth. So it's a better product, I believe. I'm a little biased, but it has the ingredients. It has the actual form that cleans the teeth. We've done studies. We've had independent studies that actually proves this out, that this bone will help the dog's teeth get cleaner over time. It has stuff like kelp meal, which reacts to the dog's saliva and actually reduces plaque and halitosis. So, and then it's got other good stuffs like inulin, which is a prebiotic that helps your dog digest your stuff better. And this one is the fresh breath. What it actually has is partially in there. So it actually does kind of freshen their dog's breath. So it's got a lot of good stuff in here, and it really helps the dog's teeth out.
Well, I can attest firsthand. Nicole, what are your thoughts, comments on this really cool product?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that kelp meal seems amazing. That the fact that it's clinically proven to actually remove the plaque from the teeth of the dog is incredible, I think. So veterinarians out there, dog lovers out there will thank you for that, so their dogs can have nice, clean, healthy mouth for us. So yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. And hey, speaking of dog lovers, Karen, happy Monday. You had me at Dog Lovers. We've got, hey, Adam's in the house. Thank God it's Monday to you, Adam, my friend. And we've got a great, juicy topic here today. So, Michael, let's talk about this. You took over this company about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. Do I have that close about that time?
Right. About 1.5 years ago. Right. It was a smaller company out in Denver that was looking really pretty much to get out of the business. The owners were getting older and they just wanted to get out. So we went ahead and purchased this company and really had to rush to move things around to get the production up and to sell this product everywhere. So after 1.5 years, we know we've got the production together, and now we're just trying to expand the distribution. We have a national distribution network of distributors out there now. I'm just needing to get into a little bit more bigger stores and a little bit more point of contact with the consumers to really get this going. We're trying to get more on the internet. That seems to be a position that they really didn't go after before. So it was all more into the little mom and pops, which is a great business, but we just need to expand a little bit more into the internet sales and business to business. We're not going to go direct to consumer. It's all going to be, through a distributor, through a third-party delivery service that's really going to bring it to the consumer at the end user level.
Well, that's perfect. And so, Damon, we run into this frequently on, multi-channel and, so many manufacturers struggle with this or they're challenged. Are we in the B2B space or going direct to consumer? You have a number of clients that you're working with kind of falling in this. What do you find as far as like clients that you're working with on that B2B side as opposed to or compared to great strategies for that direct to consumer model like Mike's proposing here? Damon, that's to you.
Oh, yeah, I was listening to your question. I think that this is such and I was thinking of the challenge because you're exactly right. This is like the OEM producer of a lot of things, and you can go through the distributor. How do you go if you're going to go? I'm going to sell through distributors. I'm going to sell in retail. I'm going to sell on Amazon. I'm going to sell. And how are you going to do that? You're going to let other people sell on Amazon for you as well. And your map pricing and everything that you do is really. It's really interesting, and I've been involved in a few brands where this challenge is everybody seems to solve it differently depending on their industry and stuff. Because you look at some of the an OEM thing like for equipment of some sort, say like John Deere lawn tractors, right? Just because it's a known thing. Everybody can sell their stuff direct online, repair stuff, or they can sell it through their dealers. I think they choose to go through their dealers solely, but other ones don't. They'll sell aftermarket parts or replacement parts direct to consumers, but they control it by the pricing that they do and the way that they sell it through. It's a really interesting challenge.
Yeah, and I like what you just said there. We're like every manufacturer tackles this a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I run into this on a very regular, consistent basis. And we're going to dig deep into Mike's strategy here. But what are you seeing with different industries from that B2B side, distribution channels, direct to consumer? What are you seeing on the streets, Nicole?
Yeah, I mean, I think my question for this is like, if you are a business and you are considering how you want to sell in this way, distribution, what are the questions that you should ask as a business, Damon and Kurt, to be able to know which channels are right and to get the right mix, I guess, because it does seem like it varies depending on your industry, depending on your product. So if I'm a manufacturer in B2B, for example, or if I'm in Mike's shoes, what are the questions that I should be asking to identify like which channels I should be going after?
Yeah, you know what, and so I'm gonna piggyback on that, and it's kind of like what Damon's saying, that everybody's tagging us a little bit differently.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull Mike into the question here. Mike, when you took over the company, it was a very strong network of like small boutiques, and distributors. Those were like kind of the two main channels that you wanted to pursue. Just talk about like what you saw when you first took over the company, and kind of the evolution of the direction that you're wanting to go now.
Well, they had started, right off the bat, we had the smaller distributors and the national distribution as far as into these boutique guys. But when you look at the total sales of all the dog pet stores and everything, Chewy and Amazon really control a large portion of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I did, because it seemed to be easier, I went after Chewy. Mm-hmm. So we're getting there with Chewy. I'm not thrilled with some of their practices, so to speak, but we're making it work, and it's growing business, and we've got our whole lineup in there. Amazon was the next, and it seemed to be a whole different animal, just because there's so many right now. I bet you could go on to Amazon and find 10 other people who are selling my exact product. Mm-hmm. And some of it's old packaging, some of it's, I'm sure some of it has been bought from some of the distributors, and they just put it on there and resell it. We're trying to work with Amazon to try to narrow that down, so the manufacturer actually has more of a say on what goes on to Amazon. We'll see if that happens. It just seems that it's a wild marketplace on Amazon, and anybody can sell anything for whatever price, and there's not a lot of checks. And because some of the packaging on Amazon is like 2 or 3 companies ago from like 4 or 5 years back. And I don't know where these guys are getting it. And in the end, does that hurt my overall brand if they get something that's out of date? And so we're working with Amazon to try to narrow that down on who can sell. Hopefully it's just me right now, because if you put Indigenous on Amazon right now, I'm paying 40 cents a click. If they hit Indigenous, then they go direct to my stuff. But if I don't have that, you're going to have a heck of a time finding it. Now, we've only been up for 2 weeks now on Amazon. We're selling about 30 units a week so far. So for just starting it out there and having a heck of a time even finding us out there on that marketplace, it's not too bad, but hopefully it is increasing sales already. You can see the graph going up. So those were the 2 that I really had to get a handle on right off the bat to get into the majority of the consumers who are buying this product and how they're buying it.
Yeah, I think that's a great strategy for small businesses. Those marketplaces, online marketplaces, is a huge, huge way for you to get in, to be able to get exposure, because Amazon is a massive search engine.
Yeah.
It's bigger than, in a lot of ways, bigger than Google. So, I think that's a really great play. We talk about that all the time, the marketplaces. So it's a great.
There's so much traffic. Whether they pay like $5 or $6 billion in Google advertising or something like that, Amazon does. It's nuts.
Right.
That's what it is. You can't do that. They drive so much, and pets is a very popular category on Amazon too. People with Prime. The darn things. How many days does it show up at your house, Kurt? Theo eats a lot. So
Theo eats a lot.
Chewy or Amazon. That's where our stuff comes from.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, for manufacturers out there, what's great is depending on your market, is find those marketplaces that are really kind of like Nicole, Damon, we preach constantly about like creating that community, or kind of like niching that down a little bit. And so Amazon and Damon, we've had folks on the show where that stat, 50 cents of every dollar of every e-commerce dollar does go to Amazon. So if you're not on Amazon, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage. You have a company like Chewy that's just really separated themselves. For those of us old enough to remember, like the internet bubble with like pets.com, when some of those things that blew up, but now there's just so many niche, pet, and it's just such a huge market. And so, and for a small manufacturer, it is hard to create that community of consumers of like, hey, I'm going to try to get one consumer at a time. So Mike, let's dive into the B2B side. Okay. So like, going after a distributor or like going after the boutique where, again, like you're a premium product. You like, this is, this is top shelf. This is for like Damon and myself, we're like, like we're second class citizens in our home. Just kidding. But like for folks that just worship their pets, that's who you're targeting. But talk about like, your B2B strategy going after those distributors and going after like the boutique markets. Let's go there.
Well, we just opened up a new one in Michigan, Vanderburen, and they,
Congrats.
they really want us to help them sell their product, sell my product. Mm-hmm. So it's everything from they're getting me into displays, floor stands, displays. They're getting me into other things. They want me to ride with their salespeople to help educate and go around when we're going to their stores. Mm-hmm. So you have to, and it's still a boutique kind of thing. Mm-hmm. A lot of these pet stores that they're calling on, and they still have a big, large market share of this area. You've got the top three, but beyond that, there's a lot of independents out there. So that's kind of where they're looking at it, is how do they get into the independent stores? Because a lot of these distributors, if you get a lot of these larger retailers now want to go direct to get the perceived savings and cost of goods. And it really, sometimes doesn't work out, but that's where everybody wants to go, where they get the lowest cost of goods. Mm-hmm. So with these distributors, you've got to have that MAP policy to make sure that none of the big guys can undercut their price. Because that's like the kiss of death in the industry as far as the pet goes. You have the large and the mass guys, and then you have the boutiques. Mm-hmm. So, and mainly the distributors are going after the boutiques. So you really have to try to work with them to how to place and show them who's got the sales. Even Nielsen goes into these boutique guys. So you can actually tell who is actually selling and who's like Milk Bones. They're the number 2 in grocery and mass. They don't even show up in, I guess they are. They are at like 10 or 12 as far as pet specialty. Whereas Milkbone, because of their size and they can pay slotting and everything else, they can afford to be on the grocery shelf just for all the mass and the traffic is. Mm-hmm. But pet specialty is not going to support that guy. Mm-hmm. So the smaller boutique guys aren't going to put a bunch of Milkbones on their shelf because they know grocery guy down the street is going to undersell them for $2 or $3 a unit.
Yep. Yep.
So that's where you've got to work with these pet specialty wholesalers and retailers, try to get them across the board pricing where they're not at a disadvantage. And that's really what they're looking for. They just want a level playing field, and they don't want to have to go against the bigger guys in a price war. Mm-hmm. So you have to keep your pricing pretty well established and where the retail is going to be at.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you talked about it too. And then when you're doing that either minimum advertised pricing, the MAP pricing, or the minimum retail pricing too, because you can have different, like an in-store compared to an advertised price too. And just the amount of effort it is to patrol that,
right,
is crazy. Because you mentioned all the other sellers on Amazon, and
I can't control those guys.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a wild west. And what I love what you're saying, Mike. And again, for other manufacturers out there that are either considering going this route or tipping their toe into like, hey, how do I, look for new channel distribution? How do I not disrupt the market per se? But, it's a little bit like for folks in the food world of like, hey, Whole Foods versus, dollar store or Walmart or like some of the commodities. And you're certainly not looking to cannibalize yourself or race to the bottom. You're trying to maintain a premium product at a premium quality price. And again, we're going to dig into some of the reviews. You have, for just starting out on Amazon and for being on Chewy, you have dozens upon dozens of 5-star reviews. And so you have just raving fans.
Awesome.
And again, I'm one of them. Hey, I want to pull up a couple comments here. So,
yeah.
Hey, Karen's here. She says, as convenient as Amazon is, I prefer going to local distributor to support other small business. Thank you, Indigenous, as distributors in my area. Now keeping my fingers crossed, eventually expand to dog food. Hey, thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. People that worship their pets. Adam. Think that demographic is growing with more and more young adults deciding not to have children, striking the iron while the hot for sure. And
Yeah.
that one,
Yeah, the great one, Adam.
Adam, thank you. We'll give Adam a round of applause.
Yeah,
so punny, Adam. So punny.
Yeah, Damon, what were you saying?
Well, this is, I mean, you got a real conundrum, Mike, because you want to move through distributors, you want to keep it in the boutique, and you want to be on Chewy and Amazon. I mean, it's the thing though, but solving that challenge will allow you guys to scale far beyond, because the new buyer demographic, there's going to be a portion of them that are going to go to their small boutique store that you want them to keep coming into there. And then a portion of them, maybe once they find you, they'll order online, or maybe they'll never go to a store. And to maximize and the nice part about it is you don't, at least now, doesn't sound like your strategy includes going into the big chain stores, because that's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, I mean, the Petco, Pet Supplies, those kind of guys are kind of okay with the boutique guys.
Yeah.
The big step is the Walmart, Kroger, Target, mass guys. Those are, once you get into that arena, that's when it really starts to ruffle feathers, so to speak.
Yeah. And I love what Kurt always says too. He always says you need to know your customer's customer, right? Yeah. Who is your customer's customer? And I think your customer's customer really is looking for that premium product. They want a really great experience. They want the best of the best for their dogs. And they're going to go to a boutique pet store. That's going to be their first choice, because they know that store is going to carry the premium products they're looking for. And it's going to be an experience where they can go and experience something new.
And the people that work in those stores are much more knowledgeable about the products than anybody in a Walmart is going to be. And you can actually go talk to those people. And that's where the distributor wants me to go in to those boutique guys, because they'll listen, they'll try to learn, so they can help their customers out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Very cool.
Another thing, as your distributors and folks, like you just talked about picking up this new customer in Michigan, they're looking for education. And so the great thing is like that social proof. We talk about that all the time. So I'm going to rattle off a few reviews. Of course, I should have had my wife on the program. Damon, Damon's like, he knows I talk about my dog. And so like I have a big Rottweiler. She goes, I know you think I'm crazy. She goes, I literally think his coat is shinier by eating these dog treats. And so that's the gospel's truth. And like my wife is like over the top for my dog. But these are some of the reviews. If you guys go on Amazon, I drop them in the chat box and on Chewy. Dogs love these. My dogs absolutely love them. Eliminated bad breath. And how about this one, Mike? No more greenies. And somebody went on, they were typing, my dog was getting allergic reactions to green. I'm sorry to throw out the competitors, but Nicole, I'm going to tie into your competitors that you have. But they were saying that their dog was getting allergic reactions, not with Indigenous Pet Products. Perfect dog treat. My doggy, she calls her dog. My doggy's breath is so fresh. Important element to my dog's dental health. And then these are awesome. And again, there's just dozens and dozens of 5-star reviews.
Awesome.
Now, Nicole, I want to chime in. This is a really unique strategy that you and Amy have with approaching content for clients, and you encourage manufacturers to hey, let's call out the competition. And people are like, hey, wait a minute, you're making me cringe. I can't talk about the competition, or I don't want to shine a bright light on them. But it's great for SEO. Share a little bit about why manufacturers should be calling out their competitors on content on their website.
Yes. So this methodology, it came from the amazing Marcus Sheridan. He's a marketing great. And he came up with this basically because his business was struggling, almost 15 years ago. And he had a pool business, River Pools, and it was struggling. And he just decided, he had learned about what's called, inbound marketing was really big at that time. And it was all about just transparency and educating your customer, and the right customer will find you. And so he implemented that in his business and literally created blog articles on his website addressing some of these questions that are kind of like these really taboo topics, price, right? Everybody skirts around price. Everyone's afraid to talk about how much their product costs because they're worried their competitor is going to undercut them, or they're worried that they're going to, people are going to not buy from them, or, so price was one of them. Another one is competition. That's another big question that customers have when they're buying something is who are the main competitors in the space and how is your product different than theirs? And so Marcus Sheridan created these, he calls them the top 5, and it's price, it's, competitors, it's who's the best in class, it's what are the reviews saying about this product, and it's versus and comparison. So how does this, the problems, how does this solve my problem? So those are the top 5. And so, I adore Marcus Sheridan. I'm so excited. He's actually going to be on my podcast this week. I'm like over the moon excited to interview him. Yeah. But the strategy works. I've seen it work for many businesses that I've worked with, and it's just simple. It's simple. All you do is you answer questions that your customers are asking in a very authentic and transparent way. You don't shy away from talking about your competitors. You educate them. You put yourself in the shoes of your customer and say, what do they need to know in order to feel comfortable making this purchasing decision? And just remove the sales out of it and just educate. And so that's really what we're trying to do for Mike here. And Amy, our amazing content strategist who works on this account, I'd love to turn it over to her. She's just doing a really remarkable job. We built out this really great learning center for the distributors, for Mike's distributors, so that when they come, they can learn and get their questions answered. So Amy, why don't you talk a little bit more about what it is you've been working on here?
Yeah, like you said, we've just been trying to answer all those questions using those big 5 blog topics to do it. So far, and Kurt, if you wanted to share your screen, we can pull up the Learning Center and look at the blogs that we've already done. So you can see we've done we have the 4 best reviewed dental health bones for dogs. So we do call out those the competitors there.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So real quick, Amy, what I'm going to do is just kind of show the site real quick here. And Amy, you know what? Let's jump into the Learning Center. I want to pull in Mike real quick here. Mike, what was I've kind of a 2-pronged question. What appealed to you what appealed to you, your team, where you're like, you know what, we believe in this product. We're going to buy this company. What was so appealing to you to believe in this company?
Well, it was a company that I'd never heard of before, but I'm a dog owner. I got 2 of them at home. And so we started trying them, and they did help clean the teeth. And so it worked out pretty well. It's got a great ingredient statement. That's really what brought it all together, though.
Yeah.
You can just see that you can recognize most of the ingredients on the label. There's nothing that's really out of crazy and preservatives and that kind of natural artificial colors and that kind of stuff. There's none of that here. So, and then once we did start seeing the reviews from customers before we bought the company, it was like, everybody loves this product. It's just got to get out there.
Yeah.
The price point at $17.99 seems to be right in line for the amount of bones and the weight that I have in a product. Actually a little cheaper than Greenies or Whimsies and those kind of guys. So it, just kind of fell in our lap, and it felt good. And we just took off running, really, as soon as we found it.
Well, I absolutely love it. And I love, Mike, you've totally embraced this content marketing strategy. I want to dig into that, but Amy, let's dig into kind of your strategy, how your approach here with the Learning Center. Let's go there.
Yeah. So this is the Learning Center. And then, like we were talking about, those big 5 topics, trying to just get right in there. Those 4 best reviewed dental health bones for dogs. That calls out right away, what people are saying about them, who the competitors are. Because at the end of the day, like, people are doing their research, especially for their dogs. They want to know what's in there. They're going to find out about the competitors anyway. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a secret. So you might as well be the one to say, like, hey, here is who's out there and what they're doing compared to what we're doing. And then this too calls out a little bit of the pricing. And then
Should I go back to it?
I need to wait a little bit deeper on that. The 4 best USA made dental dog bone blogs. And so then it's not just about getting all of those, getting the keywords in there, those ridiculously important keywords, as I know Kurt has named them, but also making sure it's talking to that customer that you want. So those small boutique pet store owners and distributors, and is what you're saying, relevant to them, because then that helps build that relationship, that helps educate them, like Mike is trying to do. So just getting in there ahead of the game. And then, answering your question. So like, okay, I need a high quality dog bone for my dog, but what does that mean? So right in here, you get into all of those great things that Mike started talking about, the kelp meal first on the list. And then just giving them a little bit about like, okay, here's what it is, here's what it does, here's why it's important for you. And so this is good too, because it is relevant to that ideal buyer, but it's also, if there is someone who is buying it on Amazon, they can come in here too and say like, okay, this is relevant to me as well. I can find something that I need to know for my dog.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And Mike, Nicole and I discovered some great news. Like, they're doing a phenomenal job getting not only first page rankings, Damon, but they're starting to capture a lot of number 1 rankings for like dental dog bones and like premium dog bone manufacturer. So there's a lot of great opportunity for them to help, our tagline, stop being the best kept secret. And so the cool thing is they've, Nicole, talk a little bit about like that subject matter expert, strategy and like doing that interview, like go there for a second.
Yes. So what we do here is we have a content calendar that's planned out for the entire year, and it's based entirely on Mike's buyer persona, those distributors, and identifying what are the top questions and objections that these buyers are having. And then every month we have a select number of topics that we interview Mike on, and we record him talking about these specific topics. And so then what we can do is we can create a blog article from the transcript of that interview, and we get some really great video clips that we can add to the blog post. So it just really makes the content so rich. It makes it really engaging for the users, because they can see video, they get to see the face of the company, and they get to learn and be educated about the product. So, it's just really, and your website is your home base. Like like Amy mentioned, someone goes to Amazon, they're doing their research. They're gonna come to your website. It's like the last place people are gonna go. It's your home, right? As a company, it is your home. And so being able to show up for those people on your website and answer those questions is huge, because branded searches are just people always sleep on branded searches, but branded searches are awesome. If you see someone typing in Google your specific brand and that's going up over time, that's what you want at the end of the day. You want that more. You want those branded searches to go up over time, even more so than, that's just a sign that your brand awareness is increasing and all of those things. So yeah, it's a really great, we love doing this with clients because they only have to commit for like an hour a month, and they get just so much content out of it with such low lift for them. So
that's perfect. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to come back to you guys for a minute. Mike, what inspired you to, like with Global Pack, like what, you have a family of brands. What inspired you? Were like, what, we need to stop being the best kept secret. We need some help with content marketing. Kind of share your background, your strategy. What enticed you to go this direction?
Well, most of our other products are more the store brands. So we were the Kroger label, the Walmart label, the Dollar General label. So there wasn't a lot. I mean, we had a website, with global packaging, but there wasn't a lot that we could really do to really expand the brand awareness of a salt and pepper shaker. It is what it is, and I've got every brand out there, but but it sells like crazy.
Right.
Once you get a brand that you've got to grow, you really need to do a lot more things than just put it out there. You just can't, especially, maybe if you're a milk bone or something like that that's been around for 50 years on the shelf, but not everybody has heard as Indigenous. So we had to do some other things and invest in some advertising, promotional effects on the web, and just grow it, because otherwise it would just be me calling and dialing and trying to get everybody. And then I could get it on the shelf, but then still nobody knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
what kind of good product it is, or
Yep.
what is it going to do. So that's what the internet and getting this blog and everything going to tell people and educate people what kind of product we really have here. So there was something I had to do that I didn't have to do with my other products because it was more of a store brand kind of odd product. So, but this is very important to get the word out about what is indigenous and how will it help your dog. So that's why we went this direction.
Perfect. So let's get a little love and a little shout out to the Purdue MEP, the Purdue Manufacturing Extension Partnership. As a matter of fact, for a shameless plug, we have a really fun webinar with our dear friend Jeff Long this Thursday at 12 o'clock Eastern time at the Purdue MEP. We're going to be covering some video marketing strategies. But Mike, talk about like your relationship with the Purdue MEP, what it's done for you, and like how we got this relationship going to get things cranking for Indigenous.
Well, Art was our contact to begin with. He had been working with one of our sister companies, Global Plastics, down in Indianapolis to do some things. And he called me up one day and I just started talking to him, and he brought me to Kurt. And so, but first of all, it was more of a website. How do I get a website developed to start this process? So that was kind of the first hurdle we had to do, is get that together. And now that we got the website, that's how it started. And now we started rolling with all the advertising and promotions. So, yeah, Purdue helped it, brought it all together to begin with.
Well, big shout out to Gene Jones, Art, and Michelle, Julie, everybody, all of our dear friends at the Purdue MEP. Nicole, so I immediately, I needed some big guns on this project, so I pulled in the DMG team. And Amy, you're on deck. In a minute, I'm going to pull up some of the magic that you've been performing. But Nicole, like when you met Mike, when you met Indigenous, just kind of talk about like your process at DMG and like how you want to start like really attacking the content here, and just how excited we were to work with such a fun company, such a fun product line.
Yes. I mean, it's just such a great product. I think, first of all, it's so exciting to be part of helping build brands that are just creating really great things for their customers, and there's just so much. This product is, it's a wonderful product. It's a high quality product, and the reviews speak for themselves. So I think it was exciting to be part of that. And just to take a brand, as Mike's, he's purchased this company, and there's just so much room and so much opportunity to increase his digital presence, because he's really just starting out with his website. And so for me, it's just like the opportunity there was just incredible, because we're starting from like, the beginning, we're building the foundation of this brand together. And it's really nice to be a part of that, to really continually beef up their web presence. And, this is a process. It's not like an overnight thing that happens. When you're building a brand, it is a long game, and it is a consistent, regular process where you're having to regularly put yourself out there, coming on live streams like this, getting out of your comfort zone, doing this for the first time, and then continuing every month to be putting out new content and getting on video and getting on camera and, sharing that personal, side of the brand is just so critical these days. And it's going to become more and more important, that branding aspect of it with AI. So it's really fun to be part of just starting out from the beginning and helping to build this together, and really trying to, explore a lot of different channels. We're working together. We have obviously the website content that we're creating, the videos on YouTube, the live streaming, and then distribution, all, opportunities across social. So it's really nice to be able to help support Mike in that way, and help, get the word out about this awesome product.
Yeah. I love that. And hey, Damon, how about our friend Adam?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll educate your competition. Hey, we're out the competition, Adam. I think, we heard that line from somebody. And hey, Whitney Houston's here today. Whitney, happy Monday to you, my friend. Thank you. Let's see. I have a kid, but I still love my fur babies. And then Adam, My wife swears I
Yeah.
love your dog more than our kids. I told her they stopped greeting me at the doors. They got older. He hasn't yet. So
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
That's
one.
so
Yeah.
sweet.
Diane
Yeah.
Byer is here. Diane, happy Monday. So again, we're here with Mike Haragan from Indigenous Pet Products. So
Yeah.
Damon, what any
Well, I
comments?
just think it's so cool, Mike, where you're at with this and this kind of
Mhm.
product, this timing. I mean,
Yeah.
I look at a lot of different products that are sold on Amazon every week, month, and it seems like, but the really good pet food, right? Like the pet like treats that you're making. These things are the brands that are so fun now, and I think that the boutique stores, the way you're doing it with online and the other things, I mean, it's just such an opportunity for you, and it's got to be fun for you to be able to kind of be the architect behind this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's
Good.
pretty good time to do this stuff too. I mean, it's got a good base, and so we got something to work with. You know, it's just not all ground zero. So it's got a good name in the areas, but we just need to grow awareness on the consumer side.
Yes.
Perfect. So, all right, Amy, we're going to pull up some numbers. And Mike, do you have some bags? Do you have some samples there handy, or do we? Can you, like, before we're going to show you some stats that Amy's been doing. What are some of these flavors that, like, our furry friends are these at home? What are some of the flavors that are going on?
We have smoked bacon. We have chicken. We got a potato and lamb and a duck and apple, which are, I mean, we talk about dog allergies, that kind of stuff. Those are the 3 items we've got that do not have chicken meal in them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a special. If you have dogs with allergies, those would be the items to get, because it is more of a cleaner ingredients, and it doesn't have chicken meal.
Right.
So, and then we have potato and lamb. I've got fresh breath. What are the other ones? We got
I don't know. That duck and apple sounds good to me.
I haven't had lunch yet.
If I was a dog, that's the one I'd go for.
Yeah. So, you know, and it's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 items, 8 ingredients.
It's amazing.
So, and duck meal's the second item in here.
Yep. And Mike, if you could hold up one of those bags. And what was great is, like, you know, so Damon, this speaks to your growth with acquisition. Like, here's a situation where, like, a thriving company, different channels, different products, like you said, commodities that they're selling, like salt shakers to, a Walmart, Dollar General. These guys, they had the branding, and it's really sharp branding, the packaging. So a lot of that homework, a lot of that heavy lift was already behind them.
Yeah.
So this really sings exactly to your growth by acquisition strategy.
Yeah. Because it was something that you could plug and play some of it.
Right.
And you could leverage your experience already. Yeah, that's really cool.
And Mike, for the record, Adam says, "Hey, I'm starting to salivate over the duck and apple." Adam, you know what, dude? You and I, we're due for lunch, so you and I, we're gonna go grab some duck and apple for lunch one of these days. So, all right, I'm going to.
And it is, and on pets, people, if you got pets that don't have these kind of allergies, lucky you. But when your pets get the allergies, you gotta. It's a search. It's a search, because you're reading ingredients on the back of it, and yes, you probably do it more than you did with your kids, but that's the way it goes.
Exactly. All right, Amy, here we go. Let me try to share my screen again one more time, and let's see how this goes. And if I go here, and can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Amy, let's talk about this. Is a screen I have. Is this a screen you wanted me to pull up?
Yeah.
Perfect. What's going on here?
So these were the changes that we've seen over time. We just published our first couple of blogs right at the end of March. And so if you want to change that date, Kurt, from April to May, which is when we really started getting in a good cadence. Yeah, I would say May. The start date being May. That's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
But yeah, we've seen some really great increases in there in the Indigenous Pet website traffic. So we've seen those branded terms go up. We've seen those organic terms go up. But then we also have people, brand new users coming to the website, and they're engaging with the content there. So they are taking the time. They're reading the blogs. They're taking in the videos that Mike has been starring in.
He's going to get his Academy
Awesome.
Award soon. We're all waiting for that day.
And
he does a great job.
I bet you never thought you were going to be a video star, did you, Mike?
No.
That was probably the farthest thing for your
first blogs. Yep.
Hey, for those of us in the 80s, Mike, remember
video killed the radio star.
Killed the radio star. So, hey, we're back to Ronald Reagan.
So good.
But Amy, look at these numbers. I mean, this is fantastic. Again, company was website wasn't a top priority. Previous, there was a transition, but man, you're just doing an awesome job with some of these numbers here.
Yeah, we were up to almost 400%, increase in traffic. So hoping, as we keep getting those blogs published, they're in some of the top pages. It is a long game, but it is definitely rewarding when you see the short game also getting some good results.
Yeah, you don't pay for that traffic either.
You don't pay for that traffic.
I mean, that's the thing. You build it over time.
It's
your favorite word, Kurt. What's your favorite word?
Free. That's right. Free.
I thought your favorite word was holy cowzer.
That was another one.
Or is it WOWZER? I don't know.
They're all great. Holy Cowzer, free. They all kind of, my dog Theo. They're all right in the top. Right? So, okay, we'll start winding down here. So, Mike, let's just recap a few things for friends that just started that just came in. So, we're with Mike Haragan, president of Indigenous Pet Products, dental health bones that are just nutritional. They're just fantastic. Tons of reviews. You're on Chewy. You're on Amazon. You can check out Indigenous Pet Products. You're putting your product out at boutiques and distributors. You now have dedicated yourself to stop being the best kept secret, and you are doing that content strategy. Nicole, you just talked about Mike being that video star. Let's our last topic. Mike, let's go there for a minute. Not necessarily like your comfort zone. And before you met me, you probably never dreamt that you'd be knocking down some rock star videos. Mm-hmm. How has it felt for you to be doing videos and again, this is a newer product line for you, but just the value, the system, the process, and how we've got to stop being the best kept secret somehow. So just talk about your view of going through this process.
Well, it's been pretty easy and pretty, it's been quick and it's been efficient, and it's definitely had a lot of effect on the traffic definitely coming into the website. Mm-hmm. So, we do have a couple of meetings a week for about an hour, and we get all this content from Nicole and Amy. So it's worked out very well. I was definitely surprised and pleased with all the new stuff that's going on and the results that are taking place.
Yeah, it's super cool. Nicole, any segue? Now, Mike, before I go to turn to Nicole, because you were knocking down a couple blog posts a week before meeting us, right? You would sit down and whip out a blog.
Everyone loves to write blogs, right?
I have to knock down my 1,000-word blog post right now.
So knock it out for the day.
You see all those on the website now, huh? There you go.
Yeah. Nicole, any comments that you want to piggyback on that as far as just the efficiency of just getting that information out there for folks?
Yeah, nobody wants to sit down and write a blog, especially small business owners who are so busy. You've got so much to do. The last thing you want to do is sit down and write a blog. But when you do, it's so scalable. Your sales team is so scalable. So it's really nice to be able to try to lift that burden off of the small business, the team, and just really try to take that off of their shoulders as much as possible. Well, the great thing about it is that we're tapping into their subject matter expertise and their knowledge. So it's coming directly from their mouth, and we're just doing all of that work that they don't have time to do, that they don't want to do, and just really trying to put it up on the website so it can scale for them. So it's really fun to be a part of. So yeah, I love it. It's super fun. And Mike is the dream client. I just love working with him. It's amazing. He's just so great to work with. So yeah, it's really been great. But I want to get to these trivia questions because I know Mike has.
Yeah. Please, thank you.
Yeah, we got to do some
so
trivia.
Damon, are you? So guys, we have some trivia. Damon? Are you sitting down? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm going to give it a try.
Well, I already told the one. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. And so listeners out there, here's the deal. So Mike's going to say all the questions. You got to say your answers all in one chat response. so that way
Okay.
we can tally up and figure out the winner. So
Okay.
Mike, if you want to read
I'm
each
writing
question,
answers.
yep, write your answers down out there. And then when he's done answering with all the questions, just put all your answers in the chat. And then Amy and I are gonna.
Whitney's here. Whitney loves
figure a winner.
Chewy. All right, Mike. Let's when you're ready, let's hear the first trivia.
All right. First trivia question: where do the dogs sleep at night? What percentage? I mean, obviously, everybody knows that they sleep in the owner's bed. What percentage of the dogs sleep in the owner's bed? And these questions are from the American National Pet Owners Association. So that's the big one. And then we've got another one. Let's see. Dental health. What percentage of buyers in the treat category buy dental health bones? There's a percentage of the whole category of treats that dental health is part of. What percentage is that buyer going in there and buying a dental health bone?
These are tough.
Yeah, I'm like stumped.
And then let's see. What else we got? That was really the two top ones.
Let's go. We'll go with one more, Mike.
One more. All right.
Those are tough.
So we got percentage of dogs that sleep with the owners in the bed.
Yep.
And
Okay.
percentage of
Here's
dogs.
something off the wall that I didn't expect. What percentage of dogs have a electronic tracking device?
Oh,
That's a great question. I like that question.
Does it include just the RFID chips, or is it any kind of electronic tracking device?
Just says electronic tracking device.
Okay, I just wanted to be careful, so I'm adding up
Yeah,
the percentages because I got no idea.
Kurt and Damon, do your dogs have electronic tracking devices?
If chips are,
So
Yeah.
you know what? I honestly don't. I don't think so. We have electric fence, but we do not have the tracking device. How's that? So I'm going to fall on the one.
Huh.
Yeah. So nobody wants to take him. I mean, he's too big. He's a big enough. So all right, let's go. All right. How about if anybody? Adam's got 63%. If you guys want to drop your answers. So what percentage of dogs sleep in bed with the owner? What percentage of dog treats are geared towards dental? And the third one is what percentage of pets actually have a tracking device?
Yeah.
Adam's like exact. See, now that's funny thing is I guessed 63% for electronics, and Adam guessed 63%.
Wow.
For the bed.
You guys
Just
are on the same wavelength.
We did the 63 number. That's weird.
So
but
Adam, all right, Adam's got 63, 27, 54. Anybody else with us? You want to drop those in the chat box? Damon, can we hear your numbers? Because you know what, I heard these numbers the other day from Mike, so I'm not.
I did the first two. I was like 50%. I said because I can figure at least half of them do.
Okay, 50.
And then the treats, I said buy the dental treats out of the treat category, I believe was the question. I said 20% of those people do that.
Okay.
And then I said 63 for the electronics, but I might be a little bit low for the electronics.
So, all right, Whitney's got 80, 40, 25. Adam's got 63, 27, 54. If anybody else wants to drop those in the chat. Mike, should we get a drum roll going?
Let's do it.
Ready?
Drum roll.
Are you ready?
Mike, let's hear the answers.
The percentage of dogs who sleep in their owner's bed, 44%.
Oh,
4.
Yeah.
So Damon, you were closest on
you
that
were
one.
close. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Damon wins that one.
Next.
All righty. The dental health bones are actually 43% of the whole treat category.
I was way off.
43%, Whitney.
Wow. Whitney
got
wins that one.
Good job.
So, and then electronic tracking devices. 1/2 of dog owners have a tracking device, so 50%.
Ooh, Adam.
50. So
You know,
Adam,
and I was in Michigan with those guys,
Wow.
and they don't sell those tracking devices. They had never even thought of that before, that it was
Yeah.
such a big category. And I was surprised too, 50%, but
Yeah.
that's where it goes.
I
Very cool.
agree with Whitney. I wonder if people just aren't admitting that their pets sleep.
Yeah. But you gotta admit, a lot of people in the more rural settings have outdoor dogs. They have,
Oh, that's a good point.
And then you think hunting dogs, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
Different.
there could, but sometimes the dog is more attached to one spouse over the other. Maybe they sleep in different rooms, and who knows? There could be a lot of distortion on those numbers, right? So anyway, but it was all right. That was great trivia. All right, let's start winding down. I want to be mindful of everybody's time as we come into the bottom of the hour. Amy, I'd like to give you your last shot here. How much fun it's been, any parting thoughts and words of wisdom is going through this process, working with Mike and the team at Indigenous Pets. Any thoughts that you'd like to share as we close out?
No, just that it's been great so far. Mike is like Nicole said, like a prime client to do this with. He always gets the questions ahead of time and knows exactly what he's going to say. So whether that's for the blog or the video, he always knows exactly what to say. So it's been very easy. And then I think just seeing the results, and then now my data brain saying okay, what's next? How can we keep them here? What can we give them as an action to do? When someone comes onto the site. So it's fun for me. And I know Nicole said oh, no one wants to write a blog, but I feel right.
That's why we have Amy.
And you get to do a lot of pet puns. So what's not to love?
Right.
Yeah.
So Damon, lots of juicy stuff here, lots of excitement going on. And so what Mike's starting to do is, Damon, do you know anything about live streams? Do you do live streams at all? Do you know?
I think this is our second one, isn't it, Kurt?
It's like so you've probably done four, what do you want? Hundreds. So Mike is this was getting Mike on stage, and now understanding that customer's customer, what we've been talking about, hey, let's get some of your customers on a live stream. Yep. Get those distributors, get those boutique shops, and get a different perspective. And again, stop being the best kept secret. Shine a bright light on the folks that he's working with, and just really kind of tag teaming that. And so that's going to be a really fun, exciting.
Oh yeah,
love it. And have Lene, have your wife on, because we're going to have all sorts of more dog trivia, dog treats.
Yeah.
Dog, you name it, tips and strategies for our dog lovers out there. So, Damon, any words of wisdom, thoughts, parting?
No, it's just awesome to get to talk with Mike and Amy about this, because I see from Amy it's got to be very exciting to work with someone and build it like that. And then Mike, to you, like I said before, just being able to be the architect behind this and see this brand grow, it's got to be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Hey, we've
Good
got
stuff.
Whitney again. Thank you for joining us today. Nice to see owners that are so invested in their marketing. Nicole, words of wisdom, parting thoughts for our little show today that you'd like to share.
It's just nice to be part of this dream team. It's so much fun. To be out, it's been great, really rewarding. And Amy's just doing fantastic work. She's just, like she said about the data, she sees the data and she's already on it. Here's, analyzing what we need to do next, and just really, really laser focused on, really helping Indigenous pets get even more success. And that's what we're passionate. We just want to help Mike and the team win. So it's really exciting to be part of that. And yeah, it's just been great. So thank you to the Purdue MEP and to Kurt Anderson for this wonderful, relationship we built. And for everyone out there listening, if you have a furry friend, you got to try this product. It's a really incredible product. And I think, did Adam win the prize? I think he might've been our prize winner. Was it Adam?
Maybe we'll give a shout out to Damon, Adam, and Whitney. Yeah. We'll talk to Mike and we'll get these things worked out.
Yes, absolutely.
Get some snacks sent out here, so we'll get Mike. We'll get that worked out. So as we wind down again, we're with Mike Haragan, Indigenous Pet Products. Great pet treats here. Your dog will absolutely love them. And what's so cool, made in, when we unpack a lot of topics we covered, made in USA, OEM, trying to get that product direct to market, direct to the consumer. How do we navigate those channels, the branding? So all sorts of fun things. Mike, I have one last question for you before we wrap up. But before I do that, any words of wisdom, parting thoughts, anything that you'd like to share for folks out there today?
No, this pretty well talked out here so far.
So Mike and Nicole, I could, Amy's hey, can we wrap this up now? Mike's this is the most I've talked in a month. I can't,
My question for Mike is, would you do it again? Would you come and be on the live show again?
Sure. Oh, sure.
So
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mike, let's go.
Awesome.
So let's go here, Mike. So we mentioned, remember I opened up with a curveball.
Yep.
Right? Well, guess what I'm closing with?
Yeah.
I'm going with my slider now, Damon. You ready for this? Okay. So Mike, are you a baseball fan by any chance? Any stretch of the imagination?
I watch it. Yeah.
You watch it once in a while. So I know Amy, I know you're Phillies. Mike, who's your team?
Cardinals.
All right, Cardinals fan.
Oh, good choice.
Good choice.
Solid choice.
Jim Cott, was he a Cardinal back in the day, or who?
Yep. For a few years.
Bob Gibson. I'm thinking Bob Gibson right now. How's that? That's one of my favorites. Okay, so Mike, let's say that it's top of the bottom of the ninth. This is pure hypothetical. Bottom of the ninth inning, and there's a guy on second base. There's 2 outs, high score. And a manager looks down the bench. It was still LaRusso. That's the first manager I could think of for the Cardinals. He looks down the bench, and he's like, "Hey, Haragan, get up there to the plate." Okay. You're walking up to the plate, 2 outs, guy on second, and it's tie score. Like, dude, we need Mike to come through. Other than the song "Who Let the Dogs Out."
There you go. Got to stop.
Other than the song "Who Let the Dogs Out." What is your walk-up song for bottom of the ninth with a guy on second and 2 outs? What's your walk-up song?
Walk-up song? Let's see.
I'm dying to know this.
What's this? What was it? Foo Fighters? Who's My Hero? Or
Who's My Hero?
Yeah, oh God,
Yes.
Nice. I would have never thought you would put Foo Fighters.
There you go.
Mike
I
came
love
up,
it.
man.
That's
Damon,
a great choice. That's a great choice. Just go boom. Drop that
Foo
thing.
Fighters on. All right. We already know Amy's. Amy, I know it's a Taylor Swift song. Amy? What's your walk-up song? Which Taylor Swift song?
Oh man, that's a hard one. Maybe.
Choose from. Shake It Off. How about we'll go with Shake It Off?
Yeah, we'll say Shake It Off. Yeah.
All right, we'll go with Shake It Off. All right, guys. I know we're over time. So, Michael, hey, if everybody's been sitting for the past hour, how about a big round of applause? You see what I did, Nicole? Big round of applause.
Waka, Kurt.
That's
Get me every time.
More for Adam, another bad dad joke. So, guys, thank you for joining us here today. Michael, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Made in USA products here. Just a great manufacturer.
Awesome.
So, guys, we're going to wind down. We wish everybody an amazing, incredible week. We have another great guest. Man, we're talking live streams on this Friday on manufacturing e-commerce success. Stop being the best kept secret. And hey, just go out and be someone's inspiration, just like Mike was today. And you guys, you have a great week. So I'm going to turn off the broadcast. Mike, hang out with us for a minute. And God bless everybody. Have